Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas are happy in love and now even reportedly prepping for their first baby. But in her newest interview with Elle Magazine, Sophie reveals that their love story didn't actually begin with love at first sight. In fact, she hated the Jonas Brothers. What is up, you guys? It's Susan Morad back here with Clevver News. And let's just say it took a while for Sophie Turner to get bit with the love bug once she was on Joe Jonas's radar. Clearly not every love story is as perfect as Hollywood makes it out to be, and Sophie and Joe's story was no exception. Sophie recently sat down with our sister publication Elle Magazine for the magazine's April issue, where she admitted to not even being a fan of the Jonas Brothers and even hating them at one point. She said, quote, "My friends and I were not Jonas Brothers fans. There was this band in the UK called Busted. They had a hit called Year 3000. It was amazing and we were huge Busted fans. Then the Jonas Brothers covered the song and made it massive, and Busted broke up. We thought it was all the Jonas Brothers' fault, so we hated them." I mean, she's not wrong, considering every time I think of Year 3000, I think of the Jonas Brothers and definitely not Busted. But irrespective, things eventually worked out. Obviously, right? Years later, the two are coming up on their 1-year wedding anniversary and are reportedly expecting their very first child later this year. Sophie recalls many people telling her that she and Joe would definitely hit it off. That's when Joe came to the UK to tour with DNCE that he slid into Sophie's DMs and asked her to hang out. Sophie added, quote, "I was living with my friends in Camden in a really rough flat. People were always climbing in and out of the windows. When I told my friends, they were like, 'That's hilarious. You have to do it. And you have to text us everything he says.'" Sophie then admitted that she was a little skeptical when agreeing to date him, as we all are before heading out on a first date, right? Then again, Sophie might have taken the whole douchey guy in a boy band stereotype to the extreme, saying, quote, "I expected him to show up with security and everything. I thought, he's gonna be such a d." That's when she brought in male reinforcements of her own. She went on to add, "I brought all my guy friends to come with me to meet him because in the back of my mind, I still worried that he could be a catfish. Or I don't know what. I just wanted my guy friends with me. I had my rugby boys, I was safe." The two met up at a dive bar in the Camden neighbourhood of London, and to clarify just how divey we're talking, Sophie said, quote, "It was just this local bar, dirty, with great music and people throwing up everywhere. It was that kind of place, kind of like the worst, but also kind of the best." She then recalled the entire night she spent with Joe, and if you already love these two as a couple, prepare yourselves to hear of what I consider the epitome of finding love in a hopeless place. She added, "He didn't bring security, he brought a friend, and they drank just as hard as the rest of us. I remember the two of us spending only a couple of minutes on the dance floor, and then we just found a space far in the corner and we just talked. We talked for hours and hours and hours. And I was like, not bored. It wasn't contrived, it wasn't small talk. It was just so easy. And soon we were like inseparable. I went on tour with him." I'm pretty sure at this point Sophie has changed any and all past preconceptions she had about the Jonas Brothers and is now one of their biggest supporters. But right now, I want to hear from you guys as one of the Joe Bros' biggest supporters yourselves. What are your thoughts on Sophie and Joe's love story so far? Are you surprised that it went down this way, or was their love story just waiting to unfold? Get to talking right here in the comment section below. And don't go anywhere, because there's a potential that what Sophie says next about Joe could literally move you to tears. So like I said, she couldn't help but gush over him to the magazine about how incredible Joe is, saying, "With Joe, I always felt like I was the one who was punching way above my league. And I still feel like that. He's so handsome, talented, funny, charismatic. I'm really lucky to be with him and have someone like him want to be around me and spend time with me." Fans who don't personally know them know that these two were clearly meant for each other and can be their funny, loud, carefree selves around one another. After having two separate weddings, including a gag wedding complete with ring pops at a Las Vegas Whitechapel, following the 2019 Billboard Music Awards, and later a much more formal reception in France, this couple is literally the best of both worlds, and don't at me, I said what I said. Oh, and not to mention that being Joe's wife also comes with full Joe Bro groupie perks, if you would call them groupie perks, like being besties with Nick and Kevin's wives, Priyanka Chopra and Danielle Jonas. Sophie opened up about her sister-in-laws, adding, It's also nice to have built-in girlfriends who are actually really cool, who I can hang out with, and we can really talk to each other about like how crazy the boys' lives are. We can relate on so many different levels. It's like, thank God, because you never know about your in-laws. It's like we're one big family because the boys are best friends. Sophie and Joe are also expected to grow their own little family even more this year with a rumoured baby on the way. Although neither of them have yet to confirm the news, many sources confirmed the news last month that the two are definitely expecting. More recently, Sophie has been noticeably hiding her stomach, and just yesterday, you guys, the couple was spotted shopping at a children's store in Studio City. Sources revealed that the two are due in the middle of summer, so hopefully it's only a matter of time until they decide to break the news themselves. In the meantime, I want to hear all your thoughts on Sophie's interview with Elle. I don't know about you, but I seriously can't stop thinking about how cute these two are together. I mean, really, they are such goals. Get to talking right here in the comment section below, and for even more positive and uplifting news, click right over here to see what Harry Styles had to say about his ex Taylor Swift's music. I promise you guys, it's all good stuff. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated with all the latest in entertainment news. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Morad, and I'll catch you later. Bye guys.